Hey guys, welcome. This is Irene, CBS Media, faith, love, and trends. This is the first take. My first thoughts, on the season 9 of Love is Blind. It's out, guys. So let's chat a little bit about it. Again, as we talk faith, love, and trends. Love is Blind is another one of those dating reality shows. And this one is where individuals meet in a pod. So they can't see each other, but they get to talk and connect verbally, be in each other's presence, but there's a wall between them and they can't see each other. So it's all based on their verbal connection. All right, so we have people in this season. There was a young lady, she was an attractive young lady, and she said she really just doesn't get approached, and this is one of the reasons she's on the show. I can kind of relate to that, not saying I'm the most beautiful woman. I'd say that I'm probably average, but I can relate to that, and I'm sure other women can as well, that they just don't really get approached. Then there's someone on there, a young lady, she's actually going blind, and she's doing this. She knows she's going to go blind, and she really wants to meet someone that's really going to be here for her because she's going to be going through a challenging time. And, the word blind is in the name of the show. So that's a really deep story. Then we have single dad. We have a single dad on there, and he says he has struggles because he has a kid, and everybody's not ready to work with that situation. Then we have rich girl. Oh, the rich girl has so many problems. Not for face value, but she's saying that just like a rich guy, she has the same issue as that. Do people want me for myself, or do they want me for what I have? So that's her issue. Then there's some guy on there with 5 cat tattoos. I don't know. To me, it's a little bit red flaggish if you got more than 1 to 2 cat tattoos. And does he even own a cat? I mean, I don't know. That's the question. His obsessive level of cats is just a little bit too much for me to have 5 cat tattoos. Anyway, another person on there is adopted, and they just were challenged by the fact that they never felt loved and wanted because they were in and out of foster homes, and their family and their parents had issues, and so they really want to create the life that they never had. It's a lot of great stories as we get into this first episode. And our host, Nick and Vanessa Lachey, they welcome the guys and then they welcome the girls. And one of the things they say is race, class, income, be gone. Basically, none of that stuff matters. You're supposed to be connecting with someone from the heart. But come to find out that that's not going to be 100% the case. Because as you talk, you're going to be giving information out, and that's going to give people an idea of what you have, what you don't have. Your culture, that is all going to kind of hint. It's going to hint around at it. You're not going to see it right there, but will it matter enough for you to bypass that person? It sounds great, but it's not totally blind when you think about it. When you start talking to the people, and I've heard them give each other hints, and maybe not on purpose, but just talking in regular communication is like, oh, you kind of revealed something that I wasn't really supposed to know. So I do have a bit of a bias. Love is blind. Find your true love is what they say. All right, well, let's get into Patrick and Casey. I'm going to pull some of these guys out here. Because he was the only Asian in his area, he struggled with interracial dating, and that was one of his issues. Then Patrick also meets Anna, and she doesn't have a middle name. They have some cultural similarities, and they kind of have a connection there. I don't know if they know. I believe that they both know that they struggle because they were different in their communities. We both know that. Well, we all know that, and they both know that from just talking. So it is kind of letting them know that, hey, they have some similarities as far as being a different culture and an outcast in a way, bullied and stuff in their community. So they bond off of that. And Anna says she doesn't really date anyone but white guys, but if these two fall for each other, they're going to be falling for each other, and they're the same culture. So I want to see how that dynamic works. Can Anna connect with someone of her own culture after she visually meets them? But at this time, it seems like they're kind of hitting it off. Now let me go to Blake and Megan. They sound compatible together. They're career driven, and she's not just Megan, she's Megan Sparkle. And Megan Sparkle kind of takes over this episode because it seems like multiple guys are interested in her. And I don't know again if it's the money dynamic, but she says that's always been an issue for her. But Blake and Megan, they're both career driven. You know, it doesn't sound like he really wants for money at all. And I think they connect on that level. She's feeling a connection with him. Megan Sparkle and Mike, he's pretty flirty. You know, he kind of flaunts what he has financially, his hot tub and all of this. And she's kind of into it because he says that, you know, he could be a good provider and all of that. But I'm wondering if she's digging him. He's on her list because he also has bank as well. Because she has bank, she wants someone that has bank as well, and that's understandable. But then when we get to Megan Sparkle and Jordan tries to see what kind of car she drives, lets her know that he drives a Kia. He's a single dad. They do kind of have a connection and a vibe there, and he can't really stop thinking about her. But in the back of her mind, she knows from his financial standpoint, by the car he drives and some other things that were said, that he doesn't have the money that she has. And he does have an idea that she does have some money. So in that respect, maybe they know a little bit too much about each other financially. But on her end, she's like, you know, he's cool, but if he doesn't make the grade financially, he has to be up to my level or something of that nature. And that's her mindset. So I wasn't really happy to hear that, but you know, it's rational and it makes sense. And that's what people do, and that's how people feel. It's nothing wrong with it, but I'd like to see the love story where the guy that doesn't have as much, he's a single dad, he gets the girl, Megan Sparkle, that has a lot going on. That will be a great fairy tale ending, but it's probably not going to be the case, at least on Megan Sparkle's end. Her connection is with the guy somewhere in between. He's career driven, but they've had some really deep conversations. That's not all that they talk about. She's really looking at Blake. All right. Let's get into my favorite couple, Tony and Allie, which their real names are Anton and Eleni, but they also had cultural differences within their community, and especially Eleni learning English and all of that. We see that Tony's from Russia, Ukraine. To me, he's giving a bit of an Arabic look, but he's from Russia, Ukraine area, and she's from Brazil. And they just also bond on just being different culturally and trying to have to figure it out and trying to fit in. And they just had some really great deep conversations. And he calls her baby one day, I think early, like the first day. And the way he says that, I mean, I just feel like they have like a really good vibe with each other. And she received his baby, as far as the way he said that. But, and then she said she had a dream about him. She said she even admitted she loved him, and I was a little shocked. My jaw dropped a bit, but then he was like, well, thank you for sharing that information with me. I was like, is that all you're going to say? He's like, I love you too. He does the proposal. It was beautiful. It's like the moment you wait for on these types of shows. So I'm really rooting for Tony and Eleni, Anton and Eleni, or Tony and Allie as they're known in their American, I'll say their American personas. So she accepts the proposal. There's Calabia and Edmund was the one that was adopted. They both are into sports. I think he played football, she played basketball. She says she's open to being the breadwinner. She's into the 50-50 thing. I'm not sure why she's into the 50-50. I'd like to know her background. I'm not against it, but she's basically saying, she went to school for her career and all that. She doesn't have to be the homemaker. She wants to go out and make the money. She's going to use her degree, basically. She's saying either way it'll work. They were talking about possibly being business partners because they're into some similar things career-wise. He's making these funny moves in the pods as she's talking. He's like making these wild movements. His legs are just jumping out, his arms jumping out. It's kind of funny the way he's physically reacting. He's giving me physical comedy, and she's not even in the room. This is just, I guess, who this guy is. But yeah, he talks deeply about his life in foster care. And he really gets emotional and starts to cry. He had a heavy cry with her. And she said she was falling for him. She tried to comfort him on the other end of the pod. But Calabia, her name sounds like a body part. And Edmund starts just calling her KB, which I'm good with because I don't know if I could keep saying her name over and over. It just makes me think of a body part, guys. I want to know why her parents named her that. No hate, but just wondering. All right. And we have Joe and Madison. They kind of come in later in the game. And they already have a vibe. They don't really show us show their connection anyway. They don't show that to us, but they show them come in the pods and they already have made this connection. They're talking about what type of date they're going to go on. She's like karaoke, then 7-Eleven. And she's like, hey, Joe, you take it from there. And he's not really picking up the ball. So she's joking with him like, come on. You're supposed to play the game the right way. And that's the end of the episode. But I had to see because actually at the very end, the ones that did propose, Anton and Eleni, I had to see how they felt when they saw each other. And Anton says that she is a stunner. She's more beautiful than he would have imagined. And she says she's into him too, and she thinks he's hot. And she keeps saying she still loves him so much even after seeing him that, the bond is there, the vibe is strong. So I really wish the best for them. There were kisses involved. I know sometimes people don't want to kiss, and they might be into each other, but maybe they just don't want to do that right away. And it wasn't just one kiss. It was multiple kisses involved with them. Some physical touching. It was like they were just physically hitting it off right away as soon as they saw each other. So I hope that this works out for them and their relationship goes further. I hope it doesn't all kind of crash and burn. So this is really the couple that I'm rooting for. So that's my first takes, my first thoughts on Love is Blind. I'll be watching. I'll probably do some check-ins. I'm not sure if I'm going to do episode by episode. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions. Drop them below or email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. That's cbiztv@yahoo.com, where we talk faith, love, and trans. Let's talk again, guys. All the best. God bless. This is Irene.